When would you pull in an independent counsel and Michael Kerrigan? If elected, what steps will you take to ensure cultural competency within the district attorney's office?
So, thanks for the question, Alicia. I think if I felt that my objective judgment was compromised in any way, perhaps I knew the officer involved or had some relationship, I would have no hesitation bringing in an independent special counsel to prosecute. I assume you're talking about in excessive force cases. So I would have no hesitation doing that if I felt in any way that my office or me personally could not be objective in making that decision.
Pastor Tyler, I think we can get there. I don't want anybody to leave without having their quote. We only got about a couple of people, so we are respectful of your time. We're respectful, but let's get it in. Go ahead, Michael.
Yes, sir. You know, preachers have soft hearts. They just,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I listen to a lot of long sermons in this church. Not by you, but so the
Key phrase, your church.
Culture and competence. One is through hiring. As deputy DA, making sure you're bringing in people with diverse experiences, and that doesn't just mean race. Diverse experiences. For those already there, make sure that we are engaging consultants and input so that we're learning the key markers that address our unconscious bias, because it absolutely exists.
Thank you, sir.
This is for Michael and Beth. My question is, how are you working with Safe City and Chief White to better connect for the community? Because he's trying to do a lot to get the police out. So how y'all gonna work?
Okay, give me one. Who do you want it from, Michael or Beth?
Well,
Who do you want it from?
whoever says that.
Beth.
You guys first.
Beth, answer Beth today.
Well,
Michael,
yes.
Beth.
So I was the first director of the Safe City program, so it's very close to my heart, and working with the community is critically important. So I would continue that work with Charlotte and keep that Safe City office going. And I also want very much to work with Chief White. I've met with him, talked to him about how we get the police and the community rebuilding that trust. So continue that work. It's very important.
Thank you. Next question.
Michael Perry.
Hi, my name is Joel Humphrey. I'm not old enough to vote, but this is still really important to me. My question is in general to whoever would like to answer it. As you pointed out before, earlier, you are all white, and excuse me. I would just like to know how you will prioritize all the issues that we have spoken about today, and how you will be held accountable for caring for our parking.
Great question.
Who do you want to answer?
So, let me tell you how I appreciate the question, appreciate you being here, and I hope you know a lot of people who do vote. This is near and dear to my heart. It's part of my legacy. My father was Judge Jim Kerrigan, a great civil rights leader, was the first federal judge in America to talk about the inequities of crack cocaine sentencing. He made early rulings on racial profilings in the late 90s, ruling them to be unconstitutional. So how will I be accountable? I have a legacy to uphold, and I want to make sure that all of us are proud of our criminal justice system here in Denver.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Our last question.
Last question for Mr. Boyd.
Thank you very much. You talked about prosecutorial inconsistencies with respect to charging police officers, but this also comes with respect to arrest. Many of the time, your officers arrest individuals who they could give an order-in ticket. It's been the process that they wouldn't even die in custody if they would be ordered in, and the disparity between minorities and non-minorities who are arrested. How would you address that?
Well, number one, that's gonna be a police enforcement issue, because that's gonna have to be dealt with Chief White and what they do in the police department. Unfortunately for the district attorney's office, we get these cases after the police have already come to us. But we certainly want to be working with the police department, making sure that if there are other alternatives instead of incarceration, that's what we're doing. And one of those issues is, like you said, can we just order people in, or do we have to arrest them? And having those discussions about that is an important part of this piece. And I certainly, as a Denver District Attorney, is going to be talking to Chief White, or whoever the police chief is at that time, to making sure that we're not doing more harm than we are doing good.
Thank you,
We always
Mr.
wanna be doing more
Gordon. Mr. Gordon, we're gonna ask you to remain standing. We're gonna ask each one of you to take 30 seconds to close.
30 seconds to close. Okay, well, first of all, thank you all for being here. The number one thing that I wanted to get out of this today is hopefully you were able to come here and ask me any question you wanted, and I would answer it openly and honestly. I've gone and I've reviewed the controversial cases, Booker, Hernandez, Castaway. I've reviewed all those cases, so you can ask me about them. Ask me what I would do. Ask me what my thoughts are.
Thank you.
Because that's what you deserve.
Thank
I
you.
would love to have your support. Thank you.
Listen, you've heard a lot of good ideas, and I want to support Michael Kerrigan. You know a campaign by who is supporting a campaign. For example, Mitch Morrissey has endorsed Kenneth Boyd. And if you look, you can see who's endorsed me. Many leaders of this community have endorsed me, including Mayor Wellington Webb, the manager of safety and other positions that Representative McCann worked for. He's endorsed me, as has Wilma Webb, as has Representative Rosemary Marshall, as has Gloria Tanner.
Thank you.
And I could go on for 5 minutes, but I need your support too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to clear up one thing. I am opposed to the death penalty. I'm the only person here that has actually voted to repeal it. I also didn't get a chance to talk about my plan to start a veterans court here in Denver, which I want to do. And I also didn't get to comment on the Clarence Moses L. case, which I think is a travesty. I would dismiss that case. I would not keep him, would not prosecute him any further. With your support, I will be the DA that brings equal justice to our entire community. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm a prosecutor. I'm not a politician. You've heard a little bit from me this afternoon, but this is what I invite you to do. I want you to go and talk to the people who work in the public defender's office, who actually do this work on a daily basis, and ask about me. I want you to go and ask the judges. I want you to go and ask the victim advocates. I want you to go and ask the people who deal in what we do every day, and say, who has walked the walk with giving people the help they need and the voice that they need within this system?
Thank you.
The answer will be Helen Morgan. Thank you.
Let's hear it for these candidates. Pastor Hyla.
We want to thank you for attending. We thank these